You're listening to 5-episode thriller. Dare to like this episode and subscribe if you hunger for more. Now, let the shadows begin to stir. Title: Who is behind you on the murder road? Episode 4: What the Mirror Won't Show. April ran until the fog thinned. Her legs burned. Her breath tore through her chest like smoke. But she didn't stop. She didn't look back. Eventually, the endless blacktop gave way to a different kind of limbo, a stretch of road flanked by mirrors. Not reflective glass, but warped obsidian, gleaming with a dull sheen, curved like ancient cathedral windows. They distorted everything, reflected nothing. April slowed. In the glass, she saw herself. But it wasn't her. It was her face, but younger, frailer. Before Olivia, before love, before the road. The girl in the mirror looked scared. "I remember this," April whispered. "This was when I almost..." But the image flickered. Now it showed April at her wedding. But she stood alone. No Olivia, only the preacher. He stood in her place, holding her hand, a noose in the other. April stepped back. Every mirror shimmered to life. Memories, possibilities, lies. She walked past them, hands clenched at her sides. Every step brought new visions. Olivia's eyes black and brimming with storm water. April sitting alone at a diner, tapping her ring against a coffee mug, waiting for someone who never came. April digging a hole. April climbing in. She stumbled, and one mirror cracked. Behind it, something breathed. A voice whispered from behind the jagged glass. "Stop running." April turned and walked faster. The mirrors ended at a cul-de-sac. In its center, a rusted playground. A single merry-go-round turned slowly on its own. April stepped into the circle. A child sat on the swing. Black hair, pale face. "Olivia?" The child turned. It was Olivia, but Nagar, younger, hollow-eyed. "I dreamt of this place before we met," she said. "Except in the dream, I was alone." April knelt. "You're not. Not now." The girl looked up. "Then why did you leave me?" April blinked. What?" The merry-go-round spun faster. A low hum filled the air. "She's not me," the child whispered. April turned. The adult Olivia stood at the far edge of the playground. Still, silent, smiling. But the smile didn't reach her eyes. "You're not her," April said. The false Olivia stepped closer. "No, but she's in here, and she's getting tired." April backed away. "I want her back." "You want the road to end," said the not Olivia. "You want the story to stop unraveling. But stories don't die. They just change hands." She held something out. A key. Rusted. Warm. "Take it. End it." April reached for it. Hesitated. Then took it. Everything blinked. She was back in the motel, room 103. But now it was empty. No Olivia. No preacher. Just a mirror across from the bed. In it, she saw herself. And Olivia. But only one reflection moved. The other just stared. April walked to the mirror. "I know you're not her," she said. "But she's still in there. And I'm not leaving without her." The reflection smirked. "You think love wins here? This isn't your world. This place is built on unfinished grief." April raised the key. The mirror rippled, cracked, shattered. A scream tore out, not from April's mouth, but from the air itself. Then Olivia collapsed into her arms. Real, warm, breathing. "I thought I lost you," Olivia whispered. April held her. "I kept running, but I never left." Behind them, the motel door opened. A tunnel of static stretched ahead, and the preacher waited in the middle of it. He tipped his hat. "Almost there, ladies. Almost there." April looked at Olivia. "Together?" Olivia nodded. They stepped into the static. The static engulfed them. April clung to Olivia's hand, the world around them pulsing in gray waves. The tunnel was endless, humming with electricity and buried voices. Sometimes they thought they could hear their names. Sometimes they saw flickers of faces, familiar, warped. The preacher walked ahead, just far enough to be out of reach. His silhouette elongated unnaturally, stretching and recoiling with every pulse of the static. He never turned around, but April knew he was listening. He always was. "What is this place?" Olivia whispered. "The place between," April said, "between the story and the ending." They walked. The static grew brighter, sharper. Then it stopped. Abruptly, the tunnel ended. They stepped out onto a high cliff overlooking a vast black ocean. The sky above was swirling with storm clouds, frozen mid-spin. Lightning blinked in place, frozen like a paused video. Time here wasn't broken. It had never been born. At the cliff's edge stood a house, white picket chimes, porch swing gently creaking. It was April's childhood home, only it wasn't. The angles were too perfect, the windows too black. The whole place felt drawn, like it had been summoned from memory and molded into permanence. The preacher turned. This is where it ends. Why here? April asked. Because it began here. He gestured to the door. April moved first. Inside, the house was silent. Every room was filled with echoes of past lives. Hers, Olivia's, even Marrow's. Pictures on the wall changed when they looked too long. One moment, April and Olivia on a beach. The next, April alone, staring out at nothing. A dining table set for 3. A child's shoes by the door. Blood smeared on the refrigerator. Was that? The preacher followed them room to room, never speaking, just watching. They reached the attic stairs. The preacher finally said, "One of you must choose. That's how stories end." April turned. Choose what? One walks out, one stays behind. That's the toll. Olivia clenched her jaw. We're not playing that game. You've been playing it since the woman got into the car. He opened the attic door. The attic was a library. Hundreds of books lined the walls, all blank. Except one. A journal on a pedestal. Its title scrawled in blood-red ink, "The Road Never Forgives." April opened it. Inside were scenes, not memories, scripts. Every moment since the beginning, her thoughts, her choices, the split-second instincts that had kept her alive or doomed her. The final page was blank. The preacher appeared beside her. This is your ending. Write it. I'm not writing a sacrifice, April said. Then the road never ends. April looked at Olivia, then back at the page. She lifted the pen. The house began to shake. The walls bled light. The mirrors in the hall shattered. The ocean below churned like a living thing. Olivia shouted, April, what are you doing? April turned the book around. Olivia read it. One line. We walk out together. No toll, no blood, just choice. The preacher laughed. You can't rewrite the rules. April met his eyes. I'm not rewriting, I'm ending it. She closed the book. The preacher howled. The attic exploded with light. Silence. Then, rain. Real rain. April opened her eyes. She was standing on the side of a rural road. The car sat idling nearby. Olivia was beside her, whole and blinking, like she'd just woken from a long sleep. Across the road, a woman stood. Not Marrow, just a stranger this time. Crying, waving. April felt the pull, but she turned away. We don't pick her up, she whispered. Olivia nodded. They got into the car. The headlights behind them never came, and the road finally led home. To be continued. If this tale left you uneasy, give it a like. Share it with someone brave enough to listen alone. And subscribe to 5-episode Thriller. Your next nightmare is creeping closer.